Good day and welcome. My name is Matthew Ewell from Leading with Nice, where we want to help you inspire others, build loyalty, and get results. Now, today I want to talk to you about the power of team and the benefits that come from being part of a really great team. Now, this conversation is inspired by a podcast I did with Brandon Peacock. So if you haven't checked it out, I would recommend pausing this video. The podcast with him is on our YouTube channel, or you can find it on iTunes, Spotify, all your favorite podcast places, the Leading with Nice interview series podcast. Check it out and give it a listen. Part 1 is what we're talking about today. There's a part 2 as well that, if it's not up already, it will be soon. And it's inspired by Brandon's story. Now, Brandon, briefly, was walking into a barbershop one day where he was tragically shot 3 times. Now, it was a case of mistaken identity. He was not the intended target, but he was the victim. Now, those gunshot wounds were meant to cripple him for life, possibly never walking again. However, his story is amazing. You need to hear it because in the end, Brandon's done some amazing things. He's now running marathons. But one of the big takeaways from his story was not just that he had a great team around him, but it's what came out of having that great team. So here's a few things that happen when you're on a great team. Here's a few things that happen organically. And the first thing is really important. You actually learn how to disagree and resolve conflict easily and better when you're part of a great team. Right? So what does it look like to be part of a great team? It means you have a high level of trust. It means you understand your role and what gifts you bring to the team. You've come with a servant's heart. You really want to serve the greater purpose of the team. So when you do all those things, one of the benefits that happens organically is you actually begin to resolve conflict and get past obstacles much faster and much easier than when you're not part of a great team. Another thing that happens organically is you begin to foster creativity in a much faster and more rapid way. Ideas come quicker. And what happens is that I believe, now, this is just my observation, so I don't have science to back this up, but what I imagine is happening, because when I've been part of a good team and creativity is just coming, it's like leaking out of you, it's because you're not self-editing subconsciously. You have a great idea. It's been inspired. The ideas are born out of more fertile soil, so they actually come up stronger. And you're bringing great creative ideas to the team because you're not worried about them being shot down unceremoniously or being ridiculed or being pushed aside. First of all, your ideas are coming and they're stronger. And second, you're not self-editing subconsciously, I believe. And that's why you're able to have that great level of creativity. It also promotes a wider feeling of ownership. When you're on a great team, one of the benefits is you naturally feel like you're a co-owner. Now, I want to say, why do I say co-ownership and not just plain old ownership or bigger buy-in? Because buy-in means somebody has this great idea and you've bought into it, you agree and you're on board. Co-ownership, co-creation means you're a part author of what this great team is producing. And that, for example, when you see a book on the shelf and you see the book authored by this person, forward by this other person, the forward in that situation, that person's bought into what the person's saying. But when you see, here's a book authored by person 1 and person 2, they've co-authored, they have ownership over those ideas. And the last thing I want to talk about, the benefits of being on a great team. And if you're not on a great team, this is why you want to do the things to make your team great, because you get all this for free, right? This comes for free. When you're on a great team, it just encourages you to take healthy risks, right? It allows you a place to take a risk that isn't reckless, that isn't with abandon. It allows you to be in a place where you're like, okay, I can push the boundaries, push the limits here, but I know it's an okay place because if I go too far, somebody's there to catch me. And I also know without being told or scolded what the boundaries are. These are all the great things. So you want to be on a great team because you can't get this stuff. Like you can't get trained to get these things if you're not part of a great team. And Brandon's the podcast with Brandon, he really, like, you see those things come through as he talks about the team around his rehabilitation. All those things happen, and it's pretty amazing. I'm really excited for you to hear the podcast, to hear it from Brandon. And these are just some high-level Cliff's Notes, if you will. But anyway, I would love to talk to you about how your team can become better. And you can get all this stuff as a side benefit. It's what we do. Leadership communications, that's what that means. So reach out to us on our website, leadingwithnice.com. Message us here, and we'll talk to you again soon. Until next time, have a great day.